Factfulness. Factfulness. 10 reasons you are wrong about the world and why things are better than you think. Hans Rosling with Ola Rosling and Anna Rosling Rönnlund. Author's note. Factfulness is written in my voice as if by me alone and tells many stories from my life. But please don't be misled. Just like the TED Talks and lectures I've been giving all over the world for the past 10 years, this book is a work for 3 people, not one. I am usually the front man. I stand on stage and deliver the lectures. I receive the applause. But everything you hear in my lectures and everything you read in this book is the output of 18 years of intense collaboration between me, my son Ola Rosling, and my daughter-in-law Anna Rosling Rönnlund. In 2005, we founded the Gapminder Foundation with a mission to fight devastating ignorance into a fact-based worldview. I brought energy, curiosity, and a lifetime of experience as a doctor, researcher, and a lecturer in global health. Ola and Anna were responsible for the data analysis, inventive visual explanation, data stories, and simple presentation design. It was their idea to measure ignorance systematically, and they designed and programmed our beautiful animated bubble chart. Dollar Street, a way of using photographs as data to explain the world, was Anna's brainchild. While I was getting ever angrier about people's ignorance about the world, Ola and Anna instead took the analysis beyond anger and crystallized the humble and relaxing idea of factfulness. Together we defined the practical thinking tools that we present in this book. Introduction. Why I love the circus. I love the circus. I love watch juggler throwing screaming chain show in the air, or a tightrope walker performing 10 flips in a row. I love the spectacle and the sense of amazement and delight at witnessing the seemingly impossible. When I was a child, my dream was to become a circus artist. My parents' dream, though, was for me to get the good education they never had. So I ended up studying medicine. One afternoon at medical school, in an otherwise dry lecture about the way the throat worked, our professor explained, if something is stuck, the passage can be straightened by pushing the chin bone forward. To illustrate, he showed an X-ray of a sword swallow in action. If I had a flash of inspiration, my dream was not over. A few weeks earlier, than studying reflexes, I had discovered that of all my classmates, I could push my fingers fastest down my throat without gagging. At the time, I had not been too proud. I didn't think it was an important skill, but now I understood its value. So instantly, my childhood dreams sprang back to life. I decided to become a sword swallower. My initial attempts weren't encouraging. I didn't want a sword, so used a fishing rod instead. But no matter how many times I stood in front of the bathroom mirror and tried, I'd get on as far as an inch and would get stuck. Eventually, for a second time, I gave up on my dream. 3 years later, I was a trainee doctor on a real medical ward. One of my first patients was the old man with a persistent cough. I would always ask what my parents did for a living in case it was relevant, and it turned out he used to swallow sword. Imagine my surprise when this patient turned out to be the very same sword swallow from the X-ray. And imagine this, when I told him all about my attempts with the fishing rod, young doctor, he said, don't you know the throat is flat? You can only slide flat things down there. That is why we use a sword. The night after work, I found a soup ladle with a straight flat handle and immediately resumed my practice. Soon I could slide the handle all the way down my throat. I was excited, but being a soup ladle sharp swallow was not my dream. The next day I put an ad in the local paper and soon I had acquired what I needed, a Swedish Army bayonet from 1809. As I successfully slid it down my throat, I felt both deeply proud of my achievement and smug that I had found such a great way to recycle weapons. Sword swallowing has always shown that the seemingly impossible can be possible and inspire the human to think beyond the obvious. Occasionally, I demonstrate this ancient Indian art at the end of one of my lectures on global development. I step up onto a table and rip off my professorial checked shirt to reveal a black vest top decorated with a gold sequined lightning bolt. I call for complete silence, and to the swirling beat of a snare drum, I slowly slide the army bayonet down my throat. I stretch out my arms. The audience goes wild. Okay.